and welcome to the Hot Zone. I'm your host, Jason Robinson, and tonight we are at the Garden of Laughs comedy event going on right here at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Now, tonight's comedy event is going to be for the benefit of the Garden of Dreams Foundation, and this is for children facing homelessness, poverty, and illness. But tonight is about fun, it's about comedy. So we're going to speak to the top icons in the entertainment field and pay homage to these children. Stay tuned, because you're in the Hot Zone. So what does it mean for you to be out here, celebrating and paying homage to the kids? I mean, it's all about the kids. It's so important for people like you to be here to show them the way. What's your message to kids wanting to get into sports like you and following their dreams?
Well, first of all, it's just obviously an honor to be here tonight. Anytime, the Garden puts an event on like this, man, I run at the opportunity to be here because I know all the funds tonight are going to go to such a great cause. When you talked about it, it's all about the kids. And, every time I get that question, I just tell kids, man, regardless of where you come from, I come from a small town in Alabama, man, that had dreams just like every other kid of playing a sport or doing something big on a big stage. And it just takes the work. You got to work. No one that you ever seen on that court or on that field has got there by luck or by happenstance. It has happened because you put in the work. So I tell all the kids out there, man, if you got a dream, go after it, man. Don't allow anybody to tell you can't do it, because there's so many examples of people who defied the odds and have made whatever that dream is happen.
Listen, man, I know you're on the set of ESPN analyzing football games. You ever get that itch to get back in the game, man? Because the Giants need you, man.
All the time, man. Obviously, as a retired, especially newly retired, you're like, you see things happening around the offseason, you're like, man, I can still get back out there. Right. Especially Golden Tate getting paid at 31 years old. You're like, hold up, should I stretch out real quick? But I get the itch, but, I understand the game. I understand where I'm at. I'm comfortable. I'm happy at ESPN. I love what I'm doing. I love the things that I'm doing. On top of ESPN and the fashion space and all of that, so I'm having a good time.
Well, how do you feel about them trading away Odell? How do you think about, what's that move going to be like for the Giants?
It was tough. Yeah. They're definitely, a guy like that production, those catches, the things he brings on the field, the attention that he garners, they're going to miss that, obviously, because there's no replacing that overnight, so to speak. So we'll see how they transition from that, from a receiver perspective, but it should be fun to watch regardless.
Right, and how important is it for you to be here tonight for the kids? It's paying homage, such a great event for them. What are you going to do on stage tonight?
It's extremely important. It's obviously for the kids. It's obviously for a tremendous cause. Tracy Morgan and I will be out there presenting a comedian, and we got some fun stuff planned, so you got to tune in.
A little salsa dance out there?
Maybe. Got to stay tuned in. Maybe.
What's your thoughts on the violence that continues to go on in our community, in the African-American community, with the passing of rapper Nipsey Hussle? Any thoughts on that?
I'm hurting on a very, very deep level. This is woken up a lot of pain. Biggie, Pop. This is woken up a lot of pain, a lot of anger. I'm grappling right now. I've always subscribed to the narrative of how come people from my community, when we find success, we are taught and conditioned to leave the same community that made us successful. Like, why we always got to move out? Why we always got to get out? Why everything we do is designed for us to get out? And then I look at someone like Nip. He was like an example to me. I aspire to be like that young brother. Like to take my money and not always be in the shopping, in the mall, in the damn house, in the department stores, but really put my money where my mouth is. I aspire to be like that, and I aspire to ring an alarm to ask more brothers and sisters from my community who have reached a certain level of success to bring it back to our community at some level, and then this happens. And it could make one say, this is why I don't. However, I come to realize that we need to embrace our young people now. They need us now more than ever. True. Because this is going to rip through our community. This has only just begun. And that's what I'm saying. My condolences go out to Nipsey Hussle.
And what does it mean to you to be here tonight?
I started coming to the Garden as a little kid to see the circus, to see the Harlem Globetrotters, And when you're a little kid and you come here, it's just mind-blowing and magical. And, you know, to be able to let lots of kids who normally wouldn't be able to have experiences like that and give them behind the scenes and first-hand experiences and meeting players and being on the courts and stuff. I mean, that's just priceless, let alone the scholarships and the music education and all the other things they do. And it's I think it's just a class act.
And what advice would you give to the kids out there who are, you know, grow up and they want to do acting like you, or any dream? Like, what's your advice for them to accomplish their dreams, whatever it is?
I mean, read, watch, you know, learn on your own, you know what I mean? Because I'm from Tasmania. You can't get much further away from New York City than Tasmania. It's like the other side of the world. You go any further south, you're in Antarctica. So a lot of my mates from school are just like, I don't understand how he's in New York doing that thing on the show. Anybody can do it if you really, really work hard at it and do the research. You know.
How important is it for you to be here for the Garden of Laughs?
Yeah, it's fun because there's nothing I like more than being around comedians, and kind of rewarding because of what this organisation does for kids. So it's a pleasure to be here.
And who's the comedian that you're most looking forward to seeing tonight?
Jon Stewart.
Okay.
They're all great, but I want to see Jon Stewart do stand-up, and ideally I'd like to see him flounder at one point. There's nothing that gives innate joy to comedians more than watching another comedian bomb.
It does bring a lot of joy. How's the show going?
Which show?
Your show.
What?
Your job.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, we're trying to keep my head above water every day.
Right. That is great. An amazing show that's going on here tonight at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. There's going to be so many funny comedians on stage for the Garden of Laughs comedy event. Thank you for joining us in the Hot Zone this week. Until next time, see you then.
What up, y'all? I'm Victor Cruz, and I'm in the Hot Zone.